We'd like to welcome Devon from Words in Winter to the studio this morning. So, Devon, you're here to tell us about this year's Words in Winter.
I am indeed.
So the theme, Curious and Curiouser, explain that to me.
Well, every year the festival comes up with a theme that sort of becomes a bit of a guiding light.
To what's going to happen.
Sometimes it's a broad guide, but
sometimes it's a bit airy-fairy.
So this year we're a volunteer team, so there's about, there's 8 or 9 of us on the festival team this year, and we came together early on and had a brainstorm and came up with a bunch of things, and we landed on that one. I guess it felt both fun, but also can be explored through a serious lens as well, because the world is getting curiouser and curiouser. So
Absolutely.
there are elements of that people can explore, and obviously the literary reference was a fun one for us.
Yes, so it's Lewis Carroll, right?
Yeah.
From Alice in Wonderland,
yeah.
yes.
So,
and I think there wouldn't be many people who probably wouldn't have read that book and might be curious to find out what's actually going to happen in Words in Winter in terms of the program.
Yeah, and so, and it started off, every year we also try to commission an original artwork that becomes the kind of look for the festival.
Okay.
So this year we worked with Eloise Grills, who's quite a well-known artist and a writer.
Yep.
She worked at the bookshop with me for a long time, so full disclosure, she and I know each other well.
Yeah.
And she had supported the festival last year, but was unable to do that in the full capacity this year. So I sort of said to her, can you maybe make us an artwork? And she said yes. So that's that beautiful image that you're seeing on the poster.
Okay.
There's an Alice in Wonderland kind of reference.
Yep.
There's the Cheshire Cat. There's the Wombat Gardens and all the fly agaric and all that. It's really quite beautiful.
And is that on display somewhere? That
everywhere.
Everywhere.
So
Yep.
there's
the actual painting.
Well, it'll be on display during the festival weekend.
Okay.
I had hoped maybe she just had a baby.
Okay.
And so she
Times
said,
are tough.
No, it's more like, can I keep it for the nursery? And I said, absolutely,
okay.
it's yours. So, but it'll be there for the festival weekend.
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And what dates are the festival this year?
So it's 5 days,
Yep.
the 26th to the 30th of August.
Okay.
So the last week, basically.
Last week of August.
Last year we did it across 2 weekends. Other years it's been across a couple of weeks. It sort of changes every year.
Yeah. Does that depend on how much you've got to, in terms of how many people are coming along to present and be part of it?
I think part of it has been, it's been around for 24 years, so there's been lots of different people who have been at the helm of the ship, so to speak. And so sometimes it's based off of the flavour of who's sort of informing the program.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, last year was certainly a response to the sheer volume. That we just couldn't say no, so we decided to put it across 2 weekends.
Yes.
And that went well. It just put a bit of strain on the volunteer
It does
team.
require extra effort, doesn't it,
Yeah.
to do it across 2 weekends?
So we're going to trial this 5-day thing.
Yes.
Basically, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday tends to be a bit more of a local focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weekend will be both events and that feature local artists, but also a lot of our invited guests from out of town are going to be featured in the program across the weekend.
Okay, so let me just pick up on that. You said 24 years. Does that mean next year is your 25th
I
anniversary?
believe so. This is what I've been
So
told.
we've got Chill Out doing 30 next year
That's
and
right.
Words in Winter doing 25.
Yeah.
Excellent. How
there's
exciting.
Something in the waters that
25,
30 years
that
ago.
year must have been a good year for people going, right, we're going to do
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent. That's good. And would you like to talk to us about some of the things that are on the program? What do you think is sort of some of your standout specialties that you've been lucky to get, or are there people that you thought, it'd be so good to have them?
Look, I think it's just the diversity of what's on offer that I think is so exciting. If you want to come up and learn about the craft of writing, or if you want to live here and learn about the craft of writing, there's poetry collage workshops, there's cozy crime workshops, there's a beautiful workshop called Text and Voice, working with quite an amazing theatre maker.
Okay.
Who's spending some time up here at the moment, Sandra Fiona Long. That's an intensive. So I think that's really exciting. There's a lot of craft-based opportunities.
Yeah.
A lot of it's very affordable too, so
which is good.
It's free.
Times are tough at the moment, so that's great.
That said, if you want to splash out, I'm kind of excited. The Macaroni Factory and the Surly Goat are partnering to deliver a dinner.
Yes, I read about that. That sounds very interesting.
So Roshani Ipa is new to town, but I've connected with her through the bookshop. Okay. She's a really interesting, dynamic person. She started a magazine. So she's a food critic, a literary agent, and started a magazine called Culinary Magazine, but it's COLOUR, that focuses on BIPOC First Nations voices. Okay. So she's Sri Lankan herself, so I think she kind of really wanted to amplify the global majority voices that aren't necessarily seen or heard of. Yeah. So she approached them. They're going to be doing an in-conversation piece with Dave Wilcox.
So Dave, for those who don't know, is the chef at Surly Goat.
And he's going to be exploring and creating dishes from 3 of his favourite cookbooks, which I believe are like a Teague Ezard, a Stephanie Alexander, and one other one that is eluding me at the moment.
Yes, there are 3.
That is... you might have to dig up a little deeper, but I think will be a pretty special experience.
And in the Macaroni Factory, which we all know is so special to us.
And I think it's like 40 people max.
Yes.
So it's a really intimate setting. So I think those will go quickly. We've already sold quite a lot.
Oh, really?
So get on to them, I'd say.
Yes. That is a bit of a unique one this year. Definitely. When I saw that in the program, I thought, wow, it's good to see that there's some food involved in the whole thing as well.
And wine as well. We've got the Loic and Chris from Dilworth and LA are hosting Barry Golding and his Six Peaks Speaks book. And what they're doing there is they're bringing in, so Barry's book looks at that's all
about the whole terroir that they're going to talk about.
So they're looking at wines from the different 6 peaks. And then they'll have wineries. I think Eastern Peak might be there, and a few other people. So it's like a wine tasting, historical, geological exploration with the dynamic Barry Golding sort of leading you through that process. Yeah. I think that'll be really interesting. One of our town hall. So we've got a series at the town hall called Town Hall Talks. Yes. So across the Saturday and Sunday, we've got maybe 7 different hour-long conversations, rather than just making it about the author and their book. Yeah. We've often let the topic or theme of the author or the book that they've currently got guide the kind of direction of each talk. Okay. So the talks tend to sort of center around an idea or a theme. So on the Sunday, we've got Tammy Jonas from Jonai Farms.
Always interesting, Tammy.
Roshani is back as the moderator. Yeah. And Lucy Ridge is wrote a book called Fed Up, which explored her experience of being a chef in the hospitality industry and the misogyny that she experienced. Yes. And so she left that to spend a year traveling around Australia and spending time on women-led farms to learn about where our food actually comes from and learn about how women can and are leading the way in these spaces. So she actually spent time at Tammy's farm in this book. So that'll be a conversation around farming, feminism, food security. I'm sure that the 3 of them will have a very dynamic conversation. I'm sure. So,
so that's at the town hall for town hall talks.
They're all fairly, I think $12 for concession holders. Okay. $18 for...
So not an expensive layout, but an interesting one to certainly... some interesting topics to certainly be covered.
The other thing, I guess, with those, I'm really excited because we're opening the weekend with a conversation with between Auntie Alison McRae.
Yes, I saw that on the program.
Yeah, who's a Jaja Warang Yorta Yorta Gundishmara woman and our festival cultural advisor for this year. So last year we initiated a First Nations engagement fund, which saw a number of artists pay forward some of their fees into it to kickstart it. Okay. Which allowed us to bring Alison onto the committee in a paid role. So she's the only paid role, as it should be, I think. Yeah. Well, it'd be great if we all were paid.
Yes. Can't always have what we want.
I definitely think it's important to recognise her cultural labour. Yes. And so she I mean, she's been participating in the festival broadly. You would have met her maybe at the launch.
Yes, I did.
And but we invited her and Uncle Ted Laxton, who's a good Ishmara man. They're both part of an art collective based over in Ballarat called Picture Making Fellas, which is a fairly well-known, well-respected Aboriginal art collective. But they're coming in their own right to talk and have a yak, have a yarn.
Great.
An opportunity. Ted's quite a dynamic storyteller, from what I understand. And so they're going to open the festival on Saturday.
Okay.
So we've not programmed anything else at that time.
Yeah.
With the hope
that everybody comes to that one event.
And welcome them to our community. It's a pay what you feel.
Okay.
But the money from that will go into next year's First Nations engagement.
That's good
fund.
to know. So there's lots of opportunities here for people to come along to free events as well as paid events.
So many.
And how do people get tickets and how do they find this? Is it through the website?
It is well, so there's two ways. Many ways. There's the website, which is very shiny and new. We rolled out a new website.
And it's wordsinwinter.com.au.
It is wordsinwinter.com. There's a big get tickets.
.com.
Up in the right-hand corner. That'll take you to a page where you can filter based off of what you're looking for, dates, that kind of thing. It's all through Humanitics, so you just go through there.
Yes.
There are printed programs currently available at Paradise Bookshop.
Okay.
And then, because we're also rolling out a program called Around the Town, which is mostly through August, where all these sort of activations are taking place around town. There'll be typewriters. Yeah. There'll be art pieces.
Oh, nice. So everybody can look out for little surprises around town.
Yeah, and at those surprises, so look for the town. The Tourist Information Centre and the library will also have printed programs. The bookshop's your sort of... hub.
Yeah, the hub of it all. Yep.
That said, during the festival, the town hall will also have a festival hub.
Okay.
There'll be a schools exhibition there.
Great.
There'll be a community book swap there.
It's good to have the town hall back open agagen in time for this.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It's
We've
great.
really missed not being able to use it for things like this.
So, and then there's also a pretty much free kids program happening where there's lots of story times. There's a couple of workshops.
Great.
Springs Medical Centre sponsored that, so it's like
excellent.
$5 for the workshop.
That's
free
great.
for everything else. Yeah.
And it's great to see that you've got sponsors who are helping you out and
it's so great.
looking after you. And there's is there prizes or anything offered?
No, we stay away from competition.
You stay away from competition. Good idea. So it's really, this is about getting along, folks, to Words in Winter. The dates again, Devon, are
26th to the 30th of August. The 26th, the Wednesday evening from 5 till 6:30. There's a big community launch. We'll have the Honeytones Choir, the local secondary college students reading. It's a really lovely event.
Good.
And that's at the town hall?
Yeah, that's free and all welcome.
Free and all welcome. Okay, folks, so
fantastic.
Wordsinwinter.com is the site. Humantics for tickets. Please get along there. Thank you, Devon, for coming along this morning.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
And just so everybody knows, we'll be doing this hopefully every Friday with people who are included in the Words in Winter program and hearing about their individual programs.
Yeah,
so thank you for coming along.
Really appreciate your support.
Thank you. Thanks, Devon. Thank you very much.